Well, hello everybody. It's a new year, and I'm just sitting here in the game room today. Things have really changed around here a lot lately, and one of the things is that I got a new job, so I haven't had a chance to really do any of these videos. But I've decided that today I'm going to try to do it. Two of my girls are off at work. Wife's working in the kitchen a little bit, so I just have a little bit of time here, not a lot, but I'm going to get this done. One of the things I did notice when I went back and looked at some of my older videos, I was like very down in them. I don't know why, but I was down, so I'm going to try to be a little bit more upbeat with some of my videos, just to make sure that they are a little bit more upbeat, so it's interesting to me to watch too, just not with the monotone monster that's happening. But I think part of that was I was doing it at 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to be calm and cool and collected, so I wasn't waking people up. But if I am back here in the game room, I know I'm not going to wake anybody up if I do my videos back here, even if it's at 4 o'clock in the morning, because they're not going to really be hearing me. Other things that have been happening around here, besides me getting a new job and working for the VA now at the VA hospital, I'm still working ICU and ICU step down, so I'm happy about that. So I got a couple new guitars. One of the guitars that I got at a really good deal. It's an Ibanez Acoustic. I've been kind of really happy with how it's been sounding, and I've been able to do things with. It's been real fun to work with here. I got it at a really good discount. They had it discounted, and then I had a gift certificate for it. And it's a smaller one compared to what I already have. It's a lot thinner of a guitar, but it also has electronics in it. I don't know if you can really see too well, but there is electronics that are in it. The problem is the electronics don't work. And I knew that buying it, that's why it was such a good price. But I was able to find the new guts for the electronics online for like 20 bucks. So I paid like 70 for the guitar. New guts for 20, so for 90 bucks I got what normally would be a $300 guitar. So I'm rather happy with that. I've got to get the new stuff coming in. One of the things I have learned is that it does sound a lot different than my regular acoustic that I have over here. So I got this one. Well, then also a friend of mine was cleaning out his basement, and he found several other guitars that he had. He had found 3. And one, it was a very small, it was like half size, and I just donated it. Figured I'm not going to play it, I'll just donate it. The other one was the same size as my Yamaha. So I'm getting that restrung, and that's going to be going to my oldest daughter. But another one that he gave us was this one here, this little Yamaha, and this one here is got nylon strings, so it sounds totally different than the other two. It's also because the nylon string is a little bit easier to push down for the notes. So with my daughter, my middle child, my youngest daughter, she's a little bit shorter and smaller in stature, so this size is a lot easier for her to be able to deal with than something big. Like when I was talking about when I was a kid, I couldn't really handle this guitar too well because it was so big. It was up like this, I could barely reach. This one here, she can. The only thing that's a little bit different about this guitar, it's more of a classic style guitar, is that it doesn't have a radius on the fretboard. So it's a flat fretboard. And from what I understand and all my research is that that's really good for if you're picking. It's really for classical guitar and picking, but you can still strum on it. It just sounds a little bit different. So what I thought I would do today is grab a hold of my regular acoustic. I'm just going to use my fingers to strum with this, but play a little something with this, see how it sounds, and see if the microphone here, because it's not the greatest microphone, but it's decent, can pick up the difference between the 3 different guitars and go over why they sound so different. Remember, beginner guitarist, not really good at all this. okay, that's how this one here is. This is a, like I said, a Yamaha FG3352. It's a juggernaut size, and it's rather one of the bigger ones. So next, I'm going to go with a little bit of the smaller one, which would be this Ibanez here, and you can see that it is a little bit smaller, and it is a different cutout. Notice how it has a cutout in here rather than being all the way around, so that your hand can come up here and do more in the lower frets or upper frets, depending on how you're looking at it. And it does sound differently. Being a different size, it's going to sound a little bit different. So now it's in tune with the other one, but to me it sounds a little bit higher pitched, even though it's the same tuning. So it sounds a little bit different. Also, the strings are a little bit different on this one here. This has got more of a tinny tang to it compared to this one over here, which is more of a coated type of string. But still, because it is a smaller size guitar, it's not going to have as deep of a tone to it as what something that's going to be bigger will. And that has to do with a few things that we'll go over in a moment. I'm hoping that you can hear the difference in that. And then finally, I'm going to grab this one here with the nylon strings, which sounds totally different than the other ones if you really listen. Let's see. Way bassier, deeper, doesn't have as high of a pitch, almost sounds muted compared to the other ones because they are the nylon strings. Also, because of the different types of bodies that they are and what the woods are made out of is going to make a huge difference too. These are not the highest of quality of guitars, of course. I mean, they're all basically more of a beginner of a guitar. This one over here being a little bit bigger, it has more resonance to it. There's more body to it. There's more wood to it for it to reverberate off of in this area here and inside. So it's going to sound a little bit more bassy, a little bit, the lower notes are going to come out a little bit more better on them, and so on. So that's why this one does it. Now, it would sound even better if this was a little bit higher quality guitar, because the wood would be of a different quality. This is more of a wood that'd be more like some of your press woods or plywoods. It's not all one piece, it's a bunch of them put together. What's nice about it is it wears a little bit better in different types of temperatures and humidity. It doesn't shrink and it doesn't expand like what a solid piece of wood would then do, and so it might not hold up as well, especially for somebody who has had it in the closet for 40 years. So that's why this one still sounds good, but not great. If this was a solid body or solid wood top and back instead of the plywood, it would have a much richer tone to it, a much more solid tone, a little deeper tone. And it probably would sound a heck of a lot better than what it does. But for a beginning guitar and for one that's as old as it is, I think it sounds pretty good. But because of the fact that the Ibanez back here is a smaller body, it's going to have a little bit of a higher tone to it because there's not as much for the reverberation for the on it too, and because it is not a real expensive guitar, it's still a little bit you know, on the lower end of it. It's not going to have that deep tone to it like these would. Plus the size really does matter, but I like the size. It's easier for me to control, it's easier for me to handle. It does have on it a little bit heavier a gauge of string than what my bigger one does. So I do have to push down on it a little bit harder to make everything work. which should be kind of the opposite, you know, to make this a little bit higher pitch and being in tune. You would think that it would have to be, that the strings would have to be a little bit more taut for how long it is for you to maintain that tone. And this being shorter, you wouldn't have to have it as tight. Well, you probably don't, but because of the fact that these are a different gauge, it makes it a little bit harder to push down, which is fine too, because what it's doing is it's making me grip a little bit differently, and I'm getting the strength in my fingers a little bit. So it's got a little bit higher of pitch of a tone than what that one does. Now, because of the fact that this has got nylon strings instead of the steel strings, it's really gonna soak up some of that vibration and be really doled out in a way. But for picking, it shouldn't be too bad. So, I mean, it's really good for picking, and you can still strum with it. And I need to get different strings on it. It still has the old strings. I have to look up at how to change strings with this type of head part of it. You know, because if you look at it, it's through the headstock, not onto the side. So it's different. It's strung a little bit differently. I guess I should have had the place where I take my guitars do that for me. But it sounds a little like you're further away with this, which actually has been good, because when my daughter plays, because she's just strumming away on it, you don't hear it as much, which is kind of good, because can get to you after a while. But she's loving it, and I'm trying to get her to go to the same website that I go to, justinguitar.com. For lessons. But yeah, we'll see what she does. We'll see how she does. But there are different size acoustic guitars, and find the one that you like and that you like the tone of. One that you can handle. If you're a little bit smaller, they have smaller ones. It doesn't matter so much at the size of the guitar that it is. It's if you can play it. I mean, if you have a really nice big jumbo guitar and it's got, you know, it's got all this fancy inlays on it, and you can't push down on the strings and you can't strum it and you're not comfortable, it's still not going to sound any better. Probably even worse than if you had a guitar that was more your size, that you can handle a little bit better. It's all about playability here. It's all about what you want to play and can play, because you're going to get frustrated like I did with this one when I first started out. Now I'm loving it, but I also have a little bit smaller gauge strings on it. I'm a little bit bigger and stronger than what I was when I was like 12 years old, so I can handle it a little bit more. It's a great guitar for me right now. So, but these are the three that I've been playing with lately. I really am enjoying it. I can't wait for the parts to come in with the Ibanez Acoustic, so I can get the preamp done, and so I can hook it up to an amplifier, and so I see how that sounds. Hopefully that I'll be able to do that real soon. I mean, it's got basically everything set up, so all I got to do is swap out parts. And hopefully that'll go that way. Otherwise, I hope everybody had a good New Year. I know I did. I had a great one. My son was up here visiting. Now he's back down in Florida, or in the Orlando area, hoping to get back and get called back at Disney so he can do some entertaining down there again. Love it when he's doing that. Love to go visit him when he's doing it. And I've really come, actually in the last month, I've really come a long way with some of the songs that I've been doing. And in the future, I might be doing another one of those where I'm playing more songs. I'm getting more confident, and I think that has to deal a lot with becoming more comfortable with the guitars that I have and doing things with the guitars that I have. I didn't want to do the electric with these just because I wanted to focus in on the acoustics today. So I hope that you all out there have a great day, and I hope that soon I can make another one of these videos. I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.